not a simple thing of plugging somebody's name in a Bible code program and getting their name. It's at least 40 hours of work. Because if you're going to do a code correctly, what you're going to do is search out every single word in that code and how it relates to the other words in the code, where it lands, what other words are around it. And of course, you're taking pages of notes while you're doing a code. And, it takes 40 hours to do. One of the things I always detested was these amateur code decoders that call themselves coders. They buy a program, and 30 days later, they're pronouncing codes that they found. And what they do is they look for a search term, and they get it, and then they plug in a few other words, and they find them. And so they're blasting their codes all over the place, and there could be other words around those words that they actually did find that shed a whole new different kind of meaning and analysis of the code that they're saying that they found. And that's simply why I just don't trust anybody else's code or put my own, because I know exactly how I do the codes. I do them the way the Lord taught me how to do them. I'll go through 8,000 words. I'll keep notes. I'll pay attention to where they land. I'll pay attention to when I'm switching from one level to another, because just as the Bible and the text, face value of it, has many layers to one verse, the codes have layers, and so you have to pay attention. And you're not going to know this stuff if the Lord hasn't led you into them. If you're in the codes out of your own motivation to do them, or your own want to do them, it takes years, and it takes guidance of the Holy Spirit to know how to analyze and interpret correctly a code. And so I just have no respect for these amateur coders out there who call themselves coders, and they're nothing more than wannabes. Anyway, some of the things I did find that I posted about the Third Fatima Code, a lot of things that I didn't. And I don't post all of the work that I find in association with the code. I simply don't have the space on the website to do that. Just thousands and thousands of words in relations to a code. Some of the things that came up with the Third Fatima secret, that this code that I found in Genesis 43:3 was that it was secret, mystical. The maiden courier of the secret was assassinated. Some of the terms found there: concerned, killed, assassination, homicide, murder, courier, maiden, which tells us that this Sister Lucia, who was 94 years old, was assassinated. Some people will say, well, she died of natural causes. Well, yeah, some people can live to 100. So she could have died next year of natural causes. This code indicates she was assassinated. And there was something interesting that I heard during the week, in that she was going to meet with Mel Gibson. He was going to do a movie about the Third Fatima secret, and so she was going to meet with him, had already met with him, and boom, she's dead. No, I don't know if that had any relation to do with it, but I found that was interesting, thought it was interesting. Was Rome behind her death? Some of the terms I found: sister, death, courier, secret, Rome, assassination, homicide, murder, Rome arranged, assassination, homicide, murder, all together in a tight cluster that Rome had arranged her assassination and murder. Found my own name in the code: Sherry Shriner, bravery, service, announcer, messenger. Sister Lucia's death, assassination by Rome. Her secret, the whole thing around her secret was revealed that on October 13th, 2004, the day of the Lord would begin. It was the finale, the ending of life on this earth as we know it, and the beginning of the tribulation period with the arrival of Horus, which is another name for the Antichrist. His arrival was delayed. He will come claiming he is God. Remember, the false one comes first.
Sherry?
Yeah.
You have a caller?
Okay, go ahead and put him on.
Your caller, you're up.
Hey, hello, Sherry?
Hello.
Caller.
Hey, this is Daryl again. How are you?
Hey, Dale, how are you?
I'm doing good. I just got home and started turning you on and see what was happening. It sounds like you were being harassed.
No, it's having...
I didn't hear it, but I'm going to listen to your archive later and see what was going on.
No, it was a very good call, actually.
Okay, good.
I was enjoying myself.
Hey, you were talking about Mel Gibson. You saw his movie Signs, I'm sure, right?
The Passion?
No, that's The Passion. The movie Signs, the one he was in with
oh, yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan did?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any message to be had in there?
Oh, there always is.
I know. I watched that movie and I just got chills throughout my spine.
Now wait, refresh my memory on exactly which one this one was.
It's about he's a farmer. He's a Catholic father, and his wife passes before. And what happens is, I guess there at the beginning of the movie, there's a crop circle found in his cornfield, and I guess the aliens, or what they want us to believe they are, put a crop circle, and it basically goes through the movie of how the aliens were doing recon in the area, and towards the end of the movie, it shows how they invade and how he boards up his home. Kind of like, when...
wasn't that the one where they actually showed the aliens as being hostile?
That's
and they
correct.
were outside his home trying to break in?
That's correct. And it also shows them when the alien is in the living room with them, you can literally look right through the alien that shows they're almost interdimensional.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I never caught that, but after watching the movie a few times. There's a lot of stuff that you can catch that as a lay person just watching it, you're not even going to get a clue.
Yeah. Well, I know that they came out with that one to try to redo the damage E.T. did. Because with E.T. they made it look like aliens were these cute, cuddly things that you want to take home to your kids.
Tickle Me Elmo E.T.
Yeah. And then they found out they were hostile, and they didn't know how to come back and say, chop off E.T.'s head. He's not friendly. And so they started coming out with some of these other movies to give to change the impression that they had given people that they were friendly into the impression that they are and were hostile. And so that was one of them that was coming out to recondition the people that they're not so friendly. Yeah,
and I think that there's a message there too. I mean, no one knows exactly how it's going to go down. We can interpret it, as an alien invasion. But at the same time, I have to, I've discussed how with you before how the word doesn't contradict itself, and the passage where, just as in the days of Noah, the same shall be at the coming of the Son of Man, paraphrasing obviously. In the days of Noah, what were the days of Noah like? There was, mixing of flesh and supernatural.
And we don't even want to go back to those days.
What's that?
I mean, literally, if everything was to become literal, as in the days of Noah,
right?
A 450-foot giant eating 1,000 cattle.
I don't know about that high, but I know they found there's fossil records throughout France and all of Europe.
Oh, there were two. There was at least one. I was reading the book of Enoch again the other night for like the 10th time. And one of the giants was 450 feet tall.
That would not surprise me.
I mean, translated into how we understand it, because it says furlongs.
Right.
But translated into our understanding, this thing was 450 feet tall.
Wow.
I couldn't even imagine the height of that thing.
36 feet was enough for me. All right. I got a book called Giants, and it shows this giant, mummified giant leaning up against the back of a railroad train, and it's towering over the railroad train, and it's in a coffin. It's a wrapped-up mummy.
And it's 36 feet.
And, no, not this one. That's the particular one's probably like 14 feet, but there is a record, a book called Giants.
The Book of Giants.
Yeah.
I was reading that one the other night, too.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, and I have all those books on my site at SherryTalkRadio.com. I go back to my own site to read the stuff. My information's there, so I can go read my own sites and read it.
That's the one thing that's sad about today. The enemy's got us running back and forth, hauling ass just to make ends meet. We haven't got time to spend time to study God's love letter to us, to get us, to wake us up.
Yeah.
People are too busy chasing after the dollar. If they're not doing that, they're chasing after the flesh.
Yeah, well, you have to have a roof over your head, and, it's just, life today is nothing but slavery.
Exactly.
You're a slave to being able to live.
You know what? I think I told you a couple shows ago that I had fallen a few years back and broke my neck and back, and up until that point, I was pretty much caught up in the rat race, just like everyone else. Making ends meet, having fun, doing my thing, man. But you know what it took? It took me literally to break my neck and be brought not to my knees, but to my chin to be humbled. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are just not getting the message, and they need to. They need to pull their heads out of their rear end, because time is short. It's very short. You know that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. When you're doing your code reading, I haven't studied your website that good yet. I haven't had the time, but